All right, so the whole point of this is to deal with smart art. And so what smart art is, now you turn your thing down. What smart art is it allows us to display like certain shapes that look a heck of a lot better. We're able to design them to be three-dimensional and a couple other things too. And we're able to make some connections between them as well. So as if we're building a diagram. This becomes very useful to people, especially when they have to do flowcharts and things like that. And so this helps with that. And we'll look at how to we'll look at how to use smart arts to make a chart of some kind. We'll use an organization chart. So let's get started. So on the Insert tab, go to the Insert tab, maybe. Okay, there it is. We're going to click on Smart Art. Now your screen may look different than mine. It's under the Illustrations group, and it's this guy right here. So yours may straight up say it on your screen, but just look for a symbol that looks like a greenish arrow, and click there. And so that brings up to choose a smart art graphic dialog box. So we have all the different ones displayed here. We have different versions as well here. As you can see, we have some directly from office.com. So that's just like pretty much the basic ones. So those that appear there as well. So in this case, though, we're going to look at a step down process. So I'm going to click on process, and these kind of show you like the flow of something. So for instance, if we were to start from here and go to here and go to here, it'll be a 3-step process. This will be a step up process because you're moving up steps. So for instance, if I'm gonna go to school, then I'm gonna get my associate's degree, then I'm gonna keep going and get my bachelor's degree, and then so on. That will be a step up process. For this assignment, we're gonna look at a step down process. So and that's just because we're gonna look at what kind of happens as people walk around at this booth registration. As you may tell from the title of this on the sheet, we have computer booth registration process. So what's the process to get registered? So I'm going to select that step down process, and you may not see this on your screen. Mine comes up automatically, but that is known as the text pane. To me, it is a lot easier to type in your text here as opposed to typing it here. And it'll automatically fill in. But that text pane, just like every other time when you insert something new into Excel or honestly any Microsoft object, you get an option or you get some contextual tabs. These are our Smart Art tool tabs. And so in the Create Graphic group, we have the text pane. And if you can just add it or take it away, it's always there. It's just a matter of seeing it or not. And then there's also this arrow here that you can click to see it or not see it. Again, I like to leave it open because it makes it very, very easy, to me at least, to type these in. So what I want in this first bullet will be apply. And underneath that, I'm going to say to apply, you're going to register for a booth. So a simple word for the people to see, like, oh, you're going to apply. And then the more detailed information about what this means. So this means register for the booth. So that's the process. First step is to apply. The second step is going to be prepare. So you've registered for your booth. What do you need to do now? Well, you need to prepare. And what are you preparing? Your booth number being assigned. So you get your number. You might want to, if those of you that have never been to a convention or a career fair or anything like that, there or have participated in on the presenter side, what you do is you get a booth number and then you want to know, okay, what kind of outlets do I have nearby in case I need some electrical power? How much space does that entail? Is that on a corner? You want to know things like that because it will help you present your stuff. So that's why that's here. Next up, we have attend, and then under attend, we're going to do setup computer booth. So your process is you're going to apply, you're going to prepare for it, and then you're going to come there. So apply, register for your booth, prepare, get your booth number assigned to you so you can understand what that means that you'll need to be able to bring and have available to you, and then you attend, you set it up. So that's pretty much, that's it. But as you see, typing that here was easier, like I said, because otherwise you can type in here, but even like clicking inside, and it takes like 2 or 3 clicks. This is just as simple as click once and then go down. So it's easier to use the text pane. But here we are. We have created our Smartart graphic, a step-down process. And now what we can do from here is we can make some adjustments to this. I'm going to close the text pane. And the adjustments that we're going to make are, we're going to go to the Design tab, which we're already there. And we're going to change the style of this. Notice that there's a layouts group. So if we wanted to change this from a step-down process to a step-up process, we could select it. You can get a little preview, but the text is still there already. It's already been typed out. See, as you switch, you could see which one you like better. But we're going to change the Smartart style. We're going to change it to a 3D polished Smartart style. So I'm going to click more. Here are my 3Ds. Notice it gives us a best match for document. I thought that was kind of cool that that's here. We're going to go 3D, and we want a 3D polished Smartart style. So this guy right here, just like that. Then I'm going to change the colors to colorful accent 3 to 4. And then I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to drag it until it's inside of a folder. That's actually good enough. So I just put that upper left corner in A4. Someone may say, what happens to the text pane then? Look where it pops up now. So it's not like the text pane just can't appear anymore if you move this over. I've had that question come up a couple of times. It'll still appear for you to use if you need it to. And then we can make this a little larger by bringing this down to, say, here, H22. Makes it nice and easy to see, and it fills up that entire space as well. Okay. All right. Any questions about the process, Smartart graphic, or setting up a Smartart graphic period? Okay. Well, that's all right. We're about to do another. So, okay, good. So I'm gonna switch over to the organization. Okay, I was making sure that was spelled correctly. Organization chart sheet. And so we're gonna add another Smartart process here, and this is just to kind of organize the way things are, like who's in charge of what. So if people have questions, they know who to people that are registered for their booths or have their booth set up, they know exactly who to go to. And so we're gonna insert. So I'm going to insert tab, and we're gonna insert a Smartart graphic. So I'm going back to the illustrations group. I'm going to click on the Smartart graphic. Maybe it'll come up. There it is. Okay. And we just looked at processes. This time we're going to look at hierarchy, because that again lets us know like kind of who's in charge. And so that's what we want to look at, is who's in charge of the organization. We want to know what the chain of command is. So we go to hierarchy here. And we have a couple of different options. The option we're going to look for is the organization chart, because that's what I'm showing you all. And so that's the first thing here. There's other types of organization charts. This one has a picture one. This is nice if you want to give pictures, which would honestly probably be best if we had some. If you were able to do an organization chart. And sometimes people think like, why would I ever use this in some type of presentation or especially like when you're doing analytics or stuff with data, right? That's the whole point of Excel. Well, no, that's not the whole point of Excel. Excel allows you to do different things with data. Well, the Smartart graphic will allow you to, during a presentation in which you're using Excel, or just in the creation and printing out of this, it makes it easier for you to set this up. Because you get those, you can have all your column widths the same size and things like that. So it's kind of almost works as if it's a ruler, so that you can see where things are. At least to me, that's how I think of it sometimes, and how helpful it can be. With the Smartart graphic, like this one, you could add pictures. So you could have like the people's titles or whatever and their names. There's a picture right next to it. It's easy for you to see. So if you worked at a company and you just wanted to like have that even for yourself, that would be a very easy document to create and be able to see. Like take pictures of the different employees, you know what the chain of command looks like when they come around. But anyway, I'm gonna do it for a regular organization chart. There we go. Bring up my text pane again, like I said, because this just makes it easier for me. So I'm gonna put in here Stephen Jones, or yeah, Stephen or Stephen Jones. Notice as I do that, what happens to the text? All the text changes size on its own, and it stays the same throughout. That's so that style can stay the same. It'll be uniform across the entire chart. It's to be bigger than someone else, even if you're in charge. So there's Stephen Jones, and he is going to be, the Expo director. Okay. It actually asks us to delete this text box that's directly below it. So I'm going to actually go here. I didn't do it. I was trying to select it from here and then delete it. I feel like I've done that before. I guess not. So, nope, it did not. So I guess I got to do it from here directly. There we go. So I deleted it. I'm going to go back, do it again. I selected the text box, and then I just press delete, and it's gone. Okay. The reason I didn't need that because there was no like second in command going down the line. It was just Stephen Jones, or no side person. Stephen Jones at top, and everyone else is just directly underneath him. So the next text box on the left side, we're going to put David Lee in here. Financial manager. All kinds of stuff. All right. In the middle, I'm going to put Deborah Alexander. She's the exhibitor liaison. So who you talk to about your different exhibits. And then we have Stacy Reynolds, who's our IT supervisor. All right. Okay. And Stacey Reynolds actually does have someone beneath her. So to add the next person, sometimes people in a text pane will just hit enter and then tab it in. That way it will be directly underneath them. So pressing enter, adding a new person on that same level, tabbing in allowed it to be indented. Very similar to, actually the same as what you do when you do like bullet points in like Microsoft Word. You can do that same thing. You can press enter and it'll add a new bullet point, and then pressing tab will indent it within. So same kind of concept here. But I'm going to show you all how to do it if you did not have that available. So what you would do is, with Stacy still selected, we're going to add in her technician. But with her still selected, we're going to go to the create graphics group here. And what we're going to do is we're going to click add shape. Okay. So one thing to note is there's a drop down here, which allows you to say, are you adding it before, below, above, after, and so on and so forth. But if you just click add shape, it automatically does after. Notice that it does the same thing as what I did before, where I press enter and just tapped in. That's all it is. It's just creating someone to go below her. And just think about the chain of command of here. Stephen Jones at the top, and he's the first bullet. Everyone else is indented underneath him. And so this next person, the IT technician we're going to add, is going to be beneath Stacy Reynolds. So he needs to be indented beneath her. So with that done, let's type in this technician. So his name is Alejandra, or her name Alejandra Garcia, and she is the IT technician. Okay. All right. So next up, what we need to do for this is we just need to change the style of this. We're going to change the color as well. So I'm going to close the text pane because I don't need it at the moment. Just going to make sure everything is selected. And in the Smartart styles, I'm going to take the polish look again for 3D. And this time I'm going to make the colors be colorful from 5 to 6. And if you're wondering how I know where those are quickly, it's actually just the numbering system. They go L, accent. They go, this is supposed to be 1 to 2. And then we got 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. So that's how I'm going to those quickly. Just after a while, you start getting used to like the order of things with the color schemes within Excel. They follow the same pattern. So, okay. All right, we're gonna do something extra special for Alejandra since she's the IT technician. On the Format tab, so the Format tab for the Smartart tools. These will look a lot similar. We have our shape styles, our word art styles. You've seen this when we inserted pictures and we modified one of the charts that had a picture. We made some changes there. So this is not something that's unfamiliar to you. But with this shape here, instead of this color that we have and the background, we're actually going to change the shape fill here. So I'm going to click on shape fill under the shape styles group. And instead of the color that we have, we're going to select olive green, accent 3. But we're going to choose the darker 25%. Okay. Take a look at that. Still has that 3D polish, but now it has that accent green color here. Now I'm going to select all 5 shapes. So to do that, wait, hold it. What's that? There it is. Okay. I was holding control and it acted like it wasn't going to let me. So to select all 5 shapes, select my first one, of course. I can hold control. Okay. That. Oh, I'm double clicking. That's why. Computer froze for a second there. Make sure you don't double click when you select them. So hold control like normal and just click on it once, each one. Do not double click because then you'll be stuck inside and have to start over. I selected all 5 of those shapes. And what we're going to do is, the reason I did that was because we're going to give it an effect. Yes, go back.
Sorry. Can you wait a little bit? I lost a little bit. I did something wrong and then I go back and try to do again, change the color. Okay?
Did you change the color?
Change it. No, I did something wrong and then I will try to.
So remember, you can undo, right? Did you undo it?
Yeah, I did. And then I go back and the color now, the first color, what color, the first color what the number was? It's like 6, 5 to 6.
Oh, okay. So you haven't changed any of the colors yet. Gotcha.
No, yeah.
Okay, so
5 to 6.
under the design tab, change colors, colorful, and it's 5 to 6. Yes.
Okay. And then the another one, like the Alejandra Garcia needed to be
Go to format. Once you select, make sure that's selected first.
Okay, format.
And then go to the format tab. And then under the shape styles group, click on shape fill.
Okay, let's see. Format. Okay, format. Okay, so fill.
Shape fill, yeah.
And then go
olive green accent 3, darker 25.
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry about my
Hey,
mistake.
no, you're fine. You're fine. Just let me know when that happens so I can help you out.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. All right. And so we need to select all 5 of these shapes real quick. And so to do so, again, we want to hold control and just click once on each one. Do not double click. You got that?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So now we're going to go to shape effects. So still in the format tab, shape styles group, we're going to go to shape effects. And then we're going to go to bevel. And we're going to look for the riblet. There it is. Okay. Riblet. All right. And so that's it for that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it over, kind of similar to what I did before. So that is about an A4. And I'm going to stretch this guy down here to it's about H20. Okay. So one thing that is also in here, and you will see this in your homework. It actually in your homework, I believe, it tells you to make sure that these names appear on a new line. Or sorry, not name. The job titles appear on a new line underneath it. Notice that worked for everyone except for Alejandra. And so to make this move to a new line, I'm going to delete the space here, and then I'm going to press Shift Enter. Shift Enter, and it automatically moved it to a new line. Okay. So on your homework, when for 6A, when it asks you to move the job titles to a new line, you press Shift Enter in front of it. So get rid of the extra space there and just press Shift Enter, and it'll move to a new line. Okay, very important. All the other ones are already on a new line, so I'm not going to worry about them. But if you want it to be uniform, the best thing honestly would have been to do that for all 5 of them. And I want to say your homework tells you to do it for all 5 of them, or for all of the jobs you have listed. So just keep that in mind. If you don't see it there, forget what I said, but I'm pretty sure it did. Just follow your instructions through your text as usual. But that's something to denote. I'm pretty sure it does tell you that. All right. So next up, that's pretty much it. All we have to do now is prepare our sheets to be printed, although we're not actually going to print them. So let's go back to our first guy here, our chart here. And for our nice little chart, we're going to go to Page Layout tab. We're going to open up the Page Setup dialog box. And we're going to insert a little footer here. And guess what kind of footer we're going to insert here? In the left section, we're going to insert the file name. That's right. Something that you're all used to doing by now in every assignment. Okay. So do that, and we'll click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the remaining sheets, and we are going to group them all together. Just the last 3 sheets. So everything but attendance chart. If you do not recall how to do so, remember that you can hit hold control and click each one separately. You can also go to the first one, select it, and then hold shift and click the last one, and it'll get everything in between them. Okay. And so what we're going to do here is, again, go to the Page Layout tab, Page Setup Group. launch the page setup dialog box. And we're once again going to, we're going to center our pages horizontally, which you all are used to as well. We're going to insert a custom footer with the left section having the file name. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, why didn't we just group all 4 of them and do the footer? Because on these 3, we needed to do 2 things. On the other one, we just needed to do 1. You could have totally done that, but it's up to you. In the end, we just needed all 4 to have the file name in the left section, the footer, and we needed to center the last 3 horizontally. So, all right. I'm gonna pretend I'm printing this so I can see this little light. So here's my chart. It's great. The expo stuff looks great. Oh, did it skip some? Here's my process. And last but not least, here's my organization structure. Okay. Now, some of these you may say this could look better in landscape. It could. We could do that and maybe even make it a little larger. I think the process one looks fine in this layout. I think landscape would take away from it. That's just my opinion though. This guy definitely should be in portrait, which we have it in. Maybe the changing of these colors so it'd be more defined with the points, because it's kind of hard to see the points that are there. But that's about it. But this is how you would want to think after you're done with everything setting up. Like if you were able to do this, if you ever did this in real life, you would take a look at how it would look if you print it out, because that's how it's going to display most likely on a projection screen. If you're doing it as a presentation, or if you do need to print it out in some type of report, you want to see how it looks. So that's it for this guy. Any questions about creating charts, 3D column charts, changing the different effects we have now? Inserting a line chart, adding the trend line, changing the markers. The Smartart graphic stuff. Oh. How about the info? There are no tags on. I didn't add any tags on this assignment because I'll be pretty honest with you. As I move later in the semester, I got a little lazy with that. But you'll see them in your you'll see them in your actual assignment in your. All right. Okay, so all right. I think it's recording. I'm sure. Yep, it is recording. Okay. So we're looking at 6B now. So you all have the instructions. I'll bring them over for a second so that you can see them as well. So this is what we will be looking at here. Pretty much it's all has to do with creating a template and then looking and then using the template in actuality. So it probably won't even take us that long to get through, but worst case, we'll finish up on Tuesday. This is probably, to me, the most useful concept for people, especially in the business world, especially if you own your own business. Because why do you want to recreate sheets over and over and over again when you can have them set up, especially if you have someone working for you? There was a student in the past who had a small little business for renting out properties. And what they ended up doing was from this course, they took a lot of things that we had gone over, especially from module 4 and then from this module. And then when we look at macros in a couple of weeks. And what they did was they took all of that and together they created some templates so they could give to their workers to use. And then it would do some checks too in the background for validation and a couple other things. And then they realized that they pretty much made the job super easy, much easier for their workers. And they also were able to go back and look and see where the workers made a lot of mistakes in the past. And so then they started giving Excel tests to people before they hired them and things like that. So they were able to benefit from this and actually save money because they were able to do a lot of things themselves because they made it a lot easier on the front end. Um, so yeah, but anyway, just mentioning that because to see how useful what we're going to look at is going to be for you. And so for those that don't know, a template is a pre-built sheet. In this case, if it was in Word, it would be a pre-built document. But that already has a certain layout. Sometimes it already has certain words on it and things like that. And then you just to fill in the blank spots for what you would need. And then you could delete parts that you don't need. You could add things that you do need that aren't there. And so that's the whole point of a template, is to give you a great starting point. So that's what we're going to build here. We're going to build a template. So let's get to it. So first things first, after you save it as instructed, which I'm not going to do for certain reasons at this point. I will save it actually, because we're going to make a template. I want you all to be able to see what that template looks like afterwards. So I'll save this as, we'll put in the same spot. And this is going to be saved as, I'm just going to leave it the same thing, but fall 2020. So I'm going to put my, you guys follow the instructions given to you. I think it says like 6B booth order or something. So I'm just doing that for myself so I know when I did this, because I'm going to use this again, I'm sure, in the future. So but anyway, in A1, I'm going to type in San Francisco. Travel Expo. And then I'm going to select column B. I'm going to set column B, the column width of column B, to be 21.5. So close. All right, that's going to be close enough. So I'm going to do this another way. Column width, 21.5. Okay. So it didn't move much. That's probably as close as it's going to get to it. Yep, it is. Okay. So just so in case you didn't know, I feel like I showed this before. Maybe I didn't. So to change a column width to a specific thing, not pixels, but to the width that's set here, you can do that here from column width. You could just type in that number. Okay. All right. So anyway, did that so we make sure we have enough room for any items that may be listed in here. And they give enough room for what is listed here. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to take B6 through B15. And we're also going to take, so I'm holding control, we're going to take C10 to C15. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that align to the right. Right now it's aligned to the left because that's how text starts off. But I'll make it align to the right because it'll look a lot better. So it's just for the look of how this template we want it to be. Right? Because you start typing in, your name and stuff, you'll want it to fill out all the way from the right side. It just looks better. It's a preference thing. All right, now that we did that, I'm going to select C6, C7, C10 through C15. And I'm going to give it I'm going to make some changes to it with some borders. So I'm going to go to the Home tab, which I'm already on. I'm going to click this border button, the drop down for it. And I'm going to click more borders so that way we get more specific about the border and how we're going to create it. To the align, do you want me to go back to align right? Or the borders?
For some reason, I lost myself again. I go back and I will undo the things here and see right everything now.
Did you adjust the column width for B?
But I don't think so. I
Okay,
will do
I
it. I will do it
okay.
now. After I write the what you tell me, I will go to the.
We just started, so there's only 3 things we've done so far. So I can go back to any of them. Did you type in A1 San Francisco Travel Expo?
I did, and then I selected the B, the column B. So right
Yeah.
now, where I need to go, I forgot. Like is they
So you haven't adjusted the column width of B yet, right?
not yet.
Okay, so to do that, once you select B, if you go to Format, go to Column Width.
Okay, column width, and then you put like 21.
Yeah, 21.5.
0.5. Okay. Now I did it. Okay. Now I did it. Select the from 6 to 15, and then Control and the 10, C10 from up to 15.
Yep.
And now you
click Align Right.
Line right. Okay. Yes. Now I did it right.
All right. And
Thank
so now
you.
you're welcome. So you're caught up to us. You just need to select C6, C7, and then C10 through C15. And we're about to change the border.
So you need to select now, and then you do like 6, 10.
Yes. Control.
And then Control and the 6, C6 to C7. Right?
Yes. C6 to C7, and then C10 to C15. That should just like my screen now. You see my screen? Does yours look the same?
Yes, right now, yes.
Good. That's where we are. So I'm going to click in the Home tab in the Font group. We're going to click on the arrow for borders. And we're going to go to More Borders. That's where I am right now. Are you there?
Yes. Now, yes.
Sweet. Here we go. Okay. So, oops, sorry. So now that we're looking at the borders, what we're going to do is we're going to change the borders of these. So to change the borders, a couple of things you can change. You change the style of it, so the type of line that you see around it. We're not going to mess with that, but just so that we actually will mess with it a little bit. But just so that you're aware, that's there. The color of the border is also here, and then the presets. So like if you want everything to fill in on the inside or just the outline on the outside is all there. So what we're going to do is we're going to format the middle border, which would be this one here. It will fall in the middle of each between. And what that means is between each cell. So that's that middle. So between each cell. And we get a demonstration what it looks like here. And then we also want to format the bottom border. So that would be this one. So it would be on the bottom. So again, notice the preview there. And it says that we want to format them with a dotted line style. So there's our dotted line style there. So that's it. So we changed the style to a dotted line. We added a middle and a bottom border. Okay, and so what's that going to look like is we'll have text, a dotted line, text, a dotted line. And so that means under each text, there will be a dotted line. Okay. All right, so when it comes to working with the borders, a lot of times people just have to play with it to try to get an understanding, but just think about it exactly as it says here. Here's your text, here's what the line will look like underneath it. And then there will be more text and then a line underneath that. So that's kind of the structure of what we're going for, and that's what we have here. So if I click OK, you'll see exactly that. You see, I can type text here, there'll be a line underneath it. And so everywhere I would type, there would be a dotted line underneath it. And I'm going to zoom in on that, because those don't look dotted to me at all. But I know I selected dotted, so I'm gonna go back and look at that again just to make sure. I did see it changed back. I did select dotted though, right, everyone? Pretty sure I did. I need to go back and do it again because it just went away. And it did it again. All right, there. There we go. There we are. So there's our dotted line. Yeah. All right. Questions from anyone? Okay. All right. So next up, we're going to deal with what's going on down here with the items. So I'm going to select from B17. Yes, go ahead.
Mine I could not change. I go back there, I select everything again and I go. You go again 2 times and it don't change for the dot line. Why?
So it did like mine did. I don't know why that happened, to be honest, the first time, but it did happen. So
No, but
I just did it.
yeah, mine I did, but it don't happening, don't change. I don't know why. I keep it do it,
Wait. You say it's not changing at all every time you do
No,
it?
yeah, no change. I don't know why.
Okay.
I put the dot, what I
I
mean?
do not. Yeah. I know, because I did the same thing, and I'm not sure why it decided not to work then. But it did the second time. So I would just go in and just do it again. Make sure you select
May,
make sure you select this one,
okay. Maybe
and then
I
click
know.
OK.
I knew
It
what's
is now.
happening. When I change, we put like the straight line. When we try to we select the dot, it don't work. You need to click on the line again to the place and to put the dot line.
Oh, your middle and
Yeah.
bottom border.
Now
Yeah.
it work. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Thank you.
All right. No, you're welcome. You figured it all out. So I'm gonna select B17 now to F40. So I'm gonna just type it up here, so I don't have to select it all. B17 to F40, and then I'm going to click. I'm gonna click format cells. To do so, I'm gonna right click in this area and click format cells. However, there's another way to get to that. It's called format cells. In the home tab, in the cells group, there's a format key, format command, and underneath that is format cells. You will probably notice that we've been here before. When we changed the borders, when you've changed the font by opening up the font dialog box, when we changed the number format, when we changed alignment, protection we haven't looked at yet, but we will look at that. When we changed the fill color, this is what always opened up, that format cells dialog box. And so you have looked at already 5 different ways to get there. So now you know 7 different ways to get there, and we'll look at one more today as well. So this is where you can format anything with the cell. The number format that's there, the alignment, the font, the border, like we just did, the fill color, like you've done several times, and then we'll look at protection today. So what we want to do here, though, is we're going to look at the border again, and we're going to click on outline and inside. So notice that outline gave it the border around everything that's selected. So all the text would still be there, but everything around the text would be outlined. And then inside means it puts borders on the inside in between each cell. Okay, so that's the difference between those two. Notice in doing so with those presets, everything got selected. The top, bottom, middle, the left, the center, and the right, all of those borders show up now. We're not told to change the line style, so we're going to keep the line style that we have here. And that's it. We're going to click OK. And now it looks like a nice little grid. That's how you probably would expect this form to look anyway, right? So I'm going to click somewhere else so that you can see that outline is all throughout this whole entire thing. Okay. Well, cool. So I'm going to give you a little print preview so you can see what it looks like. Notice here that there is a border above these items, descriptions, quantity, and unit price total stuff, because on here it didn't quite look like it. It may be kind of hard to tell because it's blended in, but it's there. Yeah, it does look nice. Yeah. All right. So next we're going to do is in cell F18, this is the totals. So think about this. You would type in the item you want. You would give it a description. You would tell how many you want, and then you would tell the price of it. Well, how much are you going to be spending then on that? Well, the price would be equal to how many you buy times how much each one costs. And that would get you your total price. So $0 right now because everything's been typed in. But if we know that that's how the total would look, instead of having the person that's going to be using this template do that themselves and then do a fill handle, we can go ahead and do it now for them. And so that's the beauty of making a template. Some of the stuff you will already know how it should look like, so you can set it up for the next person so they don't have to worry about it later. And so we're going to go all the way to F39 though, not F40. We'll do something with F40 in a second, but we're not going to do it F40. Okay. So from F18 down to F39, get our totals. And now that we got that settled, from F19 to F39, I'm also going to change this to be, oops. Because this is money, I'm going to change these to be comma style. Notice that because it's 0, it just puts a line through it, meaning there's nothing there. In the top one, I'm going to make it accounting number style. Again, same thing. The only difference between accounting number and comma style is the $ in the front. So because it's a 0 price, you get that dash line, meaning that nothing's been put in yet. Okay, so this is looking similar to what we're used to, right? The top one has a $, the rest of them do not. The bottom one usually does too, right? Because it's usually the sum of all the ones above, which it will be. So F40 will be the sum of all our total prices. So you all have a couple ways to do auto sum. I know that Sandra likes to click on the button. So I'm going to use Alt equals to do mine. And it already put in accounting number format, which is great. If it had not, I would have told it had to be accounting number format. So this is nicely set up so far, right? They can enter in all this stuff and this will automatically calculate itself. And the total will automatically calculate itself as well. So one thing though is this is supposed to be the total. There's nothing saying that it's the total. So how about we change a couple of things so people will know? So I'm going to take D40 and E40, and I'm going to merge and center it. And I'm going to type into it order total. Order total. So that's pretty obvious then that this must be the order total. I'm going to make this a line to the right. So it's definitely known that, hey, the thing that follows right after order total is the total of the whole order. And I'll make it bold so it stands out even more. The only thing now is that it has these borders around it, and there's borders around B and C but that's not going to be used, right? Because this line is just to tell you what the total is. So that'll look confusing. So I'm going to get rid of those borders. So to do so, I'm going to click here and here. I'm going to select B40 and C40. And I'm going to open up the border dialog box again by clicking more borders. I could have gone to format cells or any of the other 7 ways that we've seen so far to do so. And I'm just going to remove the bottom border because I don't want any borders around this section. I'm going to remove the middle border between the two. And I'm going to remove the left border. So all that will be left is the top and then the right. Well, why would I want the top and right to be there? Well, think about it. The top of this would be the end of row 39, right? Well, that is supposed to be some items in the description given in, so that should have a border underneath it. The right of this is the beginning of where we have the ordered total. So that makes sense for that border still to be there. So again, when I talked about how sometimes people have to play with the borders till they get it right, this is one of those things where someone would probably go in and just delete all the borders of it, but then we have an issue because this should have borders on the bottom of it, and this should have a border to the left of it. So you got to think about that. And the preview is a great way to look at it. I'm like, okay, if I leave this here, what's that going to look like? Oh, okay, that keeps the border for the bottom of that guy. If I leave this here, what does that look like? Oh, that keeps the border for the left of this guy. Okay. So take your time whenever you're messing with the borders and just think about it before you click OK. So and then afterwards, if you do mess up, you can always go back and change it. But look, take a look here. This looks a lot better, right? For order form, we can type in our items descriptions to how many we're buying, how much they cost each. It'll automatically calculate the total. At the bottom, it'll automatically calculate the total of all the totals. And we're pretty set up here, right? Yeah. So, any questions about what we've done so far, messing with the borders? All right. Cool.
I have some because I don't get like the middle border still. I change the middle border still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you take it out?
Oh, you just click on it. So whenever
Okay.
you, oops, sorry, I'm gonna get it back. Whenever you we're in more borders, this guy here was the middle one. So you just had to click on it and it would go away. See how it's not selected right now? If I click on it, it's selected and you see it appears there. If I click on it again, it disappears and it's no longer selected.
Okay.
Is this what yours looks like right now?
Yes.
All right. And so you click OK. So it should look like this.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So now we're gonna do is we're gonna add in something a little fancier because this San Francisco Travel Expo, this is not fancy. If we're gonna have a real travel expo, we should have some type of logo that the marketing department came up with, which thankfully they have. So I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna delete this. And we're gonna add in our San Francisco travel logo. So to do that, I'm gonna go to the Insert tab. And I'm going to go to Pictures. And you will find this you will find this in the scripture lecture files that I sent to you all. So if you go to your wherever you put your 6B scripture lecture stuff, you'll find it there. So insert that image I gave you, I sent to you. And with it now there, the only thing that we need to change is a couple things with it. So with it inserted, we're going to go to the Format tab that now appears because every time you insert something, you do get contextual tab. And in the picture style group, we're going to click More. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach a Bevel Rectangle. I'm going to Look around for that. Bevel perspective. This is my bevel. There it is. Bevel rectangle. So it makes it kind of a little curve on the edges. So bevel looks like. All right. So it's in the top corner right now. The instructions do tell you to drag it down a little bit. But you could have left it there. It would have been fine too. All right. So it says to scroll so that row 16 is at the top. Well, first, any questions about inserting that image? Okay. So the only thing we want to do now is there's one more thing we're going to add to this template, and that's something here so that people know what kind of form this is as they're filling this out. We're going to just add something here. So it says scroll until row 16 is at the top of your screen, just like this. Notice row 16 is at the top of my screen. And we're going to insert some word art here so that people know what is it that I'm filling out here. So they know that this is the booth order form, the things they need for their booth. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on A17. And I'm going to go to the Insert tab. And I'm going to insert word art. So yours may not appear on your screen like mine's didn't. Mine's is under the text group. So be very careful with that. But I'm looking for word art. And then I'm clicking the drop down so I can select the type I have. Again, yours may look different on your screen. You may have a full thing that's showing like 10 of these and you have to click more. But we just want to go to word art and then be able to see all the different options. And we're going to select black text 1, but we want the outline background 1. So hard shadow background 1. Where are you? Okay, black text, color 1, outline, background, color 1. Listen to hard shadow. Okay, here's my hard shadow. It's the same thing. Yeah, I want the first color though for hard shadow. So make sure I got the one that I want. I think that's the one I want. Yeah, it is. I want this one. So I want the fill to be black text 1. I want the outline to be the first background color. And I want it to be a hard shadow with the first background color. So I'm selecting that one. And notice that I get this kind of text box to type stuff in. And so I'm going to type in booth order form. Sweet. And I'm going to change the font size to be 20. Now I'm going to rotate it. The instructions tell you to hold the shift key to do so, and then drag it to the left. Pretty much I just want it vertically upward. With me, Sandra?
I'm missing. How did you rotate it? Sorry.
So
you need to drag the close.
Drag this to the left until it's straight up and down. Yeah.
So how you did it?
I just dragged it to the left. So if you hold down shift, it becomes a little easier because it'll go at certain angles as you move. But pretty much you can click this and just drag it to the left. Just go towards the left and it'll rotate left.
I don't know why. Why? You see
the same? Do you see the same thing as this?
Yeah. Do we need to put it close to the inside the?
You should click right where you see that circle that's going, the arrow circle. So if you click right there,
I did. I am.
Okay. And then just drag your mouse to the left. That's it. Just drag it to the left.
Oh, now I understood. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. Did it work?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, you don't have to actually rotate it. Some people think they have to like move their mouse in a circle. No, you just move it to the left, it'll go left. Move it to the right, it'll go right.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
that's
you
it.
need to put your like on a 20, something on 20.
Say it again.
On 20, like
Yeah, the font size.
the. No, I did the font size. I say it's like the row 20, close to the row 20. You need to put
No,
it.
we haven't done it. No, don't worry about that. That's just where it showed up on mine. We're about to move it.
Okay.
So yeah. So we need to move it to column A. So I'm gonna move it to column A. So oops. So that the top of it is at A17. Notice that it's like right there at the border. And so next, it says to make sure it's kind of centered in the column. That's preference, really, to be honest. So you can do your best to make sure it's kind of centered there. Don't worry about it too much. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bottom part here and we're gonna drag it until it's the bottom part of B39. Because remember, this whole order form starts at B17 and ends at B40, but B40 has a total. So that shows you it's covering that whole area of where the order form would be. All right. Good there?
Yes.
All right. So the only thing left that we need to do is let's change the shape fill of this. So I'm going to go back to that format tab, that contextual format tab. We just inserted something. And then in the shape styles group, I'm going to click shape fill. And I'm going to go to texture. Instead of changing the background color, we're going to change the background to have a certain texture. And we're going to select stationary. This was alphabetical. It's not. All right. If you can find it for me, that's great. I'm looking for stationary still. I thought I got it. Oh, there it was. Had the wrong one. All right. So stationary was the one we wanted. Click that. And all that's left to do is to go to our page setup dialog. Well, click somewhere else, of course, first. Go to your page setup. Yeah. Uh-oh. Mine's froze. Does your page setup dialog box come up?
Let's see. So you need to put like the margin like that.
Yeah. Does that stuff come up for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Mine's is stuck. And I'm not sure why it's not coming up at all.
Maybe you need to click in another place.
No, I'm clicking I'm clicking in a different place. Nothing else is selected right now. Yeah, it should come up automatically. Let me just see if I have anything protected. No, that's fine. Huh. I am not sure why mine is not coming up. So, but yours is coming up, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and center the page horizontally. Give it a left section. Insert a footer that includes the file name in the left section, and then save it.
Just
and then
the file name.
Finish up with this on. What was that? Yeah, just the file name.
Okay. And then click OK as well.
Yeah,
okay.
And then save this, and we'll finish this up on Tuesday. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Cool. Nice. So we finish on Tuesday. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep. No problem.
So Okay, see you on Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
Bye bye.